come on this morning because I had something on my mind last night, and I was like, I wanted to get up and talk about it, but I said I'm going to wait till this morning. But principles, because what bothers me is a lot of times I see people doing things and wondering why they can't bring things together, or feeling like you can just go through life without any guidance, without any foundation, and that's not true. You have to have principles in life. You have to have guidelines in life. You have to have something that you stand for in life. If not, you see those lines in the road that keep us separated on each side when we're driving, keep people on the right sides of the road. When you don't have a foundation, when you don't have principles, you don't have guidelines. You're going to be all in someone else's lanes in life, and you will never find yourself doing that which keeps you in some sort of comfort about life. When I was going to school and I was studying for behavioral sciences, and that's what my degrees are in, studying of that behavior. So becoming a behavioral scientist, just doing those things that keep you observing people. Observing people. That's what studying behavior is about. That's what the science of behavior is about. Watching people, watching their actions, their movements, their facial gestures. And after years of studying and going through clinicals and writing papers and doing all of these things that you have to do in order to obtain your credentials and graduate, you have to understand the foundation of what you are learning. And in behavioral sciences, it's tons of courses of psychology, tons of them. So you're studying and you're talking about the mind all the time. So when this thing came up with me, I was talking to my niece, and she was saying, Electra, we just lost. It's like everybody just lost. She just graduated last year, and she went to college, came to college, goes to the college where I work. And the thing of it is when a young person tells you something like that, something goes off. Your antennas should go up. When they say, we just lost, and willing to admit it. And I began to think about its principles. You have to find principles and for your life. And before I go any further, I want to just kind of read off principles that defines it, okay? Principles, fundamental truth or belief that act as guiding rules or foundation for systems of thought on behavior. Okay? Again, principles, fundamental truths or belief that act as guiding rules or foundations for systems of thought or behavior. And so when you don't have principles in your life, again, you're going to find yourself all over the place. You're going to find yourself having to deal with so many consequences, because without principles, you don't stand for anything. You just go with the flow. You don't correct people when they're wrong. You just don't have foundation yourself. So when my niece says that young people are so lost, I say to myself, and it bothered me, that where are the elders? I say this all the time. And I know that we feel like we're doing all we can do, and many of us are. We're doing all we can do to try to keep those young people around us focused, right? But you have to realize there are so many people out there who enjoy seeing young people unfocused with no direction, because it gives them an opportunity to interject things in their lives with no foundation to it, with no truth to it, because they will say anything around them. They give them untruths. They give them things that have no correctiveness to it. When you have a bunch of people in your life, and I want to talk about yes people, in your life, you are going to suffer many consequences. You have to have people in your life who have principles, who are going to tell you when you're wrong, who are going to tell you when you're right, and you might not take their advice, but at least they told you. And if you tell a person something long enough, let me tell you, when they know it's right, they'll get angry. Yes, they will. We've done it ourselves. We know somebody was telling us right, but we wanted to do what we wanted to do, and it cost us consequences. If you have principles, you don't let nobody shake your foundation. You always tell them what's right and what's true, because you know that you don't want them crossing that line, going in the opposite direction. You're going to hit somebody. You're going to run into something because you're in the wrong lane. You're in the wrong lane in life. And eventually, you're going to get knocked off the road and end up in a ditch. And your ditch is those consequences that you would have to face. Don't hang around people that don't have principles, because they're going to destroy your life. They're going to cause you much pain. You need a GPS sometimes to get where you're going, rather than stopping and asking everybody, am I going in the right direction? What I say that because there's tools available. There's material on top of material that speaks about life, that speaks about doing the right thing, that speaks about correctiveness, that speaks about just building yourself, having principles, having guidelines. There's lots of material out there on that. Having the right attitude, having the right behavior. In order to get things right in life, you can't get through life without any principles set in place for your life. This is how so many people are ending up all over the place. And my niece is 19. And to make a statement like that touched my heart, because we be talking a lot. And she said, honestly, ain't lecture, we just lost. Young people are lost. You have to look at, she's just one person talking to me. There are millions of teens who are just lost. And a lot of them are hanging around people with no principles, no truth, no foundation, no correctiveness, and they're misleading our young people. Because if they're unstable, whoever attaches to them is going to be unstable, because they're never going to tell them the truth. And unless you are around people who want the best for you, They're going to tell you anything. If they don't want the best for you, they're going to become yes people. They don't care how wrong you are, they're going to say yes. You are right. They'll never correct you because they have no principles. They have no foundation. They're not checking their own behavior. They're doing none of that. Their thoughts about you are not well thought out. That when they communicate with you, they give you profitable information, not just anything. People, we got to have principles. We got to stand on something. Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And you are going to mislead our young people that's coming up behind us. What are your principles? That's my question this morning. What are your principles about life and for life? All right? Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you guys later. This video will be posted on my YouTube channel, Electra James Inspirational Talks. I'm going to do a short video this morning, pre-recorded, and it will also be transferred over to my YouTube channel, Electra James Inspirational Talks, onto my Facebook and Instagram. Okay? I will talk to you guys later. Hang on to those principles.